The Calgary Flames are tied for the NHL's longest active playoff drought. But with 10 games left in the regular season, the Flames find themselves in a playoff position and ready to ignite the Red Mile for the first time in 6 years. We welcome you into our Hockey Central studio for TELUS Flames Hockey here on Rogers Sportsnet. Leah Hextall looking straight at Roger Millions at the Scotiabank Saddledome as the Flames skate into their 4th game of a 5-game homestand against the Colorado Avalanche. And Roger, it's oh so important tonight to get the victory to keep pace in this Western Conference, but setting the pace for the Calgary Flames is their sophomore centerman.
And Leah, the Flames are hoping that they'll get continued efforts up front from the guys that have been producing them. Sean Monahan, Jiri Hudler, Johnny Gaudreau. But how about that Monahan? The 20-year-old now has 29 goals in the season. Could have had his 30th on Saturday, but hit a post 7 in his last 10 games. And Jiri Hudler himself, a career year, especially when you consider multi-point games. 20 of them this season, 81 now, only 61 at the start of the year. What a season it's been for number 24. And they'll meet a Colorado Avalanche team that has been much improved of late. In fact, they're out of the playoff hunt. They practically have to win them all and get some help along the way. But Semyon Varlamov has been absolutely splendid. A 1.43 goals against average in his last 7 games. Maybe he's been the best goaltender in the NHL this month of March. Well, we'll find out what happens. Leah, back to you.
That we will, Raj. John Shannon, Colby Armstrong. And this will be, if you can believe it or not, the 12th game that the Flames skate into without their captain, Mark Giordano, who they lost for the season with injury, John. But yet, the Flames just keep on chugging.
Which I think is an amazing story in itself, Leah. You know, when the injury occurred in the New Jersey game, we all wondered what was supposed to happen for the rest of the road trip, what was going to happen when you get returned home from surgery. Well, the team's gone 6-3-2 in that period of time. And look at the numbers. This is a guy, remember, that plays in every situation. He plays on the power play. He plays on the penalty kill. He plays 5-on-5. Well, in fact, the power play is actually better without Mark Giordano in the lineup. And the penalty kill has suffered just a bit. And what that really tells you is that this group of 20 players has picked up the slack. This group of 20 players in the classic Calgary Flame hard-working team attitude has done everything together. And that, to me, is a true indication of why this team will, in fact, make the playoffs. That, to me, is why we're talking about this team playing Vancouver in the first round.
And speaking of the playoffs, LA Kings taking on the New Jersey Devils tonight. And here it is, Anze Kopitar. Boom. Oh, rebound, boom. We'll do it again. There we go. They're currently up 3-1 over the Devils. And let's remember, the LA Kings 2 points back of the Calgary Flames right now, Colby. They have that game in hand. And we've been talking about it, the scoreboard watching.
This is motivation for them to get ready to go tonight. And against a team that's trying to come in there with 2 guys that used to play on their team. But this boils down to losing a guy, but it boils down to the leadership they have with England stepping up. They've got Stage, and they've got these veteran guys, Hiller, Weidman, Bolig, guys with experience. They got these guys dialing this team in to come out and be ready to go and play a Calgary Flames hockey, like you said, John.
This is a 2-point night, though, guys, is it not? I mean, this is the time where you have to get it. They got the overtime loss on the weekend when you see Vancouver and Winnipeg winning. With LA doing what they're doing right now with the game in hand, it's win or bust at this point.
Well, and let's face it, I think when we looked at the start of this road, this homestand, there was a real expectation that, wow, you look at it, Columbus, we can beat Columbus. Philadelphia, we can beat Philadelphia. St. Louis, not so much. This was the game. The Colorado game was going to be the tipping point, and it's not really changed from that. This Colorado team is fighting for the playoffs that they think are 8 points away. Calgary can't take their foot off the pedal at this point, and they have to really prove that they are playoff bound.
Well, they are 1-1-1 on this 5-game homestand thus far. They've picked up 3 of a possible 6 points. They're going to be looking for the full 2 tonight. We will head to the Scotiabank Saddledome when we return. Flames and Avs.
TELUS Flames Hockey. Brought to you by TELUS, the future is friendly.
Welcome back to Calgary. The Flames and Avalanche are almost set, but first of all, a reminder to play Safeway's $1 Million Score and Win. If any Flames player scores 5 times in tonight's game, Sid Amundsen of Medicine Hat could win $1 million. Shop at Safeway. You could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet. The Ralph T. Scurfield Humanitarian Award is presented tonight here at Scotiabank Saddledome. It goes to the Flame that's involved in community involvement. in memory of the great Flames supporter. His grandchildren, Mackenzie and Taylor Skerfield, were on the ice for the presentation of the award this year, going to Perseverance, Determination, and Leadership on Ice. And that gentleman just happened to be number 8, Joe Colborne. Colborne created the Colborne's Forces group that recognizes the Canadian Armed Forces, honorary spokesman for the Big Hearted Mavericks Foundation, and also launched the Colborne Families in Crisis Fund that provides direct financial support to families in need through the Flames Foundation for Life, an award that he is truly honored to get. A Calgarian through and through, and enjoys his role as a team member and in the community.
It's a huge honor, something that obviously I'm very proud of, and there are a bunch of guys that could have received the award this year, and I'm just the lucky one that gets it. But again, there's a few causes that I'm very proud of to be a part of, and hopefully they'll continue to grow and get even bigger.
That's some of the fine work Joe Colborne has done off the ice. On the ice this year, contributing with 7 goals and 18 assists for 25 points, a +10, which has been much improved. His two-way game has certainly been a superlative part of his performance this season, and he's become a very valued member of the Calgary Flames Hockey Club as they continue to try to pursue a playoff spot in the Western Conference. Meantime, looking at wins, how about Bob Hartley? With a victory tonight, he would record another 40-win season. He's had a few of them along the way. 4, of course, guiding the Colorado Avalanche, including to a Stanley Cup, and a pair in Atlanta. He could win number 40 as a Flame tonight. We're set for period number 1. Let's go upstairs. Rick Ball and Kelly Rudy.
All right, thank you, Roger. Rubber match between these two teams. The Flames won the series opener between the Flames and Avs in overtime and lost a week and a half ago in Colorado, both one-goal games. We check our starting goaltenders, brought to you by Intact Insurance Company, proud to partner with the Calgary Flames. Kari Ramo making his 3rd straight start, 11th the last 14 games for Calgary, stopped 26-29 in that overtime win over Colorado in December. The other end, Semyon Varlamov, the workhorse between the pipes, 35th start the last 37 games for him, a career-high 5 shutouts this season. He's 6-0-1 the last 7 games. Be top line against top line to start this game. Jiri Hudler along with Monahan and Johnny Gaudreau for the Flames. Hudler on a roll with his line mates. 15 points, including 7 goals for Jiri Hudler in the last 10 games. We get set to go in Calgary. 4th game of this 5-game homestand. Monahan facing off against Duchesne, and we're underway at the Scotiabank Saddledome as the Flames control the puck off the opening faceoff. Gaudreau tips the puck in. Varlamov leaves it behind the net for Holden. Up the boards on the far side. Mitchell trying to clear, can't get it out. Gets a second chance and banks it ahead to Duchesne, working in on Russell. Duchesne, top of the circle, shot blocked by Russell. Jiri Hudler gets the loose puck off a stick and out to center ice. Puck chipped back into the Calgary zone as both teams start to change. Bounces right out in front of the goal. Russell got there to clear. Off Barry deep into the Colorado zone. Onto the forecheck is Josh Juris back in the lineup. He's been out the last 2 games. In for Michael Ferland tonight. The only lineup change. Line combination is a little different. We'll get to that in a second. Long shot by O'Reilly goes wide of the goal. Brody chips the puck towards the corner. Cut off down low by Landeskog. Now O'Reilly trying to work it out front. Watched by Englund. Brody to the puck on the far side. Gabriel Landeskog puts it back behind the net. Derek Englund there. Ahead for Michael Backlund. He's bumped by Barry, who steals the puck. Tyson Barry in the circle with a shot off the leg. Bounces out front through the crease into the corner. Englund onto the puck there. And he fires it ahead to Josh Juris. Backlund tipped it in. He'll head after it. Cut off by O'Reilly, who feeds Barry. Dangerous pass to Landeskog. Got away with it, though, as he clears the zone. Flames back up ice. Diaz fires it in. Varlamov stops that behind the net. Look out. Onto the play is Michael Backlund. Puck played up the boards. Granlund there to knock it down. David Jones onto it in the corner. Marcus Granlund with a shot from a sharp angle. That goes off Varlamov. Over the glass and out of play. Keys to the game brought to you as always by Budweiser. Great times are waiting.
And for the Flames, keep your eyes on Tyson Barrie. We already saw it. First shift of Barrie is dangerous. He's tied for 8th in league scoring for defensemen, and for the Avalanche, win puck battles. When they're at their best, they're hard on pucks and they don't like to give them away very often.
Marc-Andre Cliche against Marcus Granlund in the faceoff. Cliche wins the draw. Redmond plays the puck ahead. Everberg's knocked down at the line by Schlemko. Puck bouncing. Cliche drops it off where it's controlled by Jan Hejda. Batted across to Zach Redmond. Up through center ice. Tipped in by Everberg. Ramo out of the goal, plays it to Schlemko in the corner. Lead pass up the middle to Granlund. David Jones works it over the line out front, deflected on goal off the stick of Cleach. And Varlamov had to make a save off his own player as the puck's cleared, not quite far enough for icing. Avalanche make wholesale changes. Flames change up front as Schlemko works the puck slowly to the line. Bollig will tip it in. And Mason Raymond on the forecheck. Nick Holden plays it to the other side, picked off by Stajan. Now Raymond down low on this line with Stajan and Bollig. Stajan behind the net, battling with Brad Stewart. Raymond's side of the goal. Stewart pushes Stajan to the boards. Stajan, good work down low. Feeds the puck to Brandon Bollig. Behind the goal to Raymond. Out front for Stajan. That pass deflected, gloved ahead, and brought out by Briere. Briere will fire the puck in. He's been in a slump of late. Just 1 point his last 20 games. Daniel Briere onto the puck, deep in the Calgary zone. Battling Derek Englund. Flames win the battle. Puck goes to the corner. Brody played it ahead, and Brandon Bollig's able to clear. Knocked down by Tyson Barrie at center ice. Victoria native fires it in. Stop behind the net, and Brody goes back to it. 3 minutes into a scoreless first period.
And good pace, and there's a sense of urgency in this one. You can feel it already.
LA leading in New Jersey by 2 at last check, so this is a big game obviously for Calgary. 3-1, Kings in front, third period. 2 points back of the Flames coming into the game tonight. Tanguay over the line out front. Here's a pass. Landeskog stopped by Ramo, and the rebound's cleared out. Dangerous chance for this line. A little too hard by the Flames, icing against Calgary. Best scoring chance of the game so far goes to the Avalanche.
This period brought to you by the bold new 2015 Toyota Camry. One bold choice leads to another.
Avalanche got a great chance. Tanguay right here is so clever at finding players open, and just a good play right there by Hudler to break up that play. But that I just love watching Alex Tanguay and the way he thinks the game. You've got to be on high alert when you're playing with him on his line, because when you least expect a perfect pass, he has the ability to make it. So there's a pass right there to O'Reilly, and just before it can get to Landeskog, Hudler makes a terrific defensive play.
Alex Tanguay, 5 years, 86 goals in that time on 2 separate stints with the Calgary Flames.
Get a real appreciation of his game when you watch him live, too.
Holden onto a loose puck, plays it into the corner for Matt Duchene. Always dangerous. Weidman watching him. Duchene all the way back to the line, almost coughed it up and did. Weidman's able to clear the zone. And the Flames finally get a change after back-to-back icing calls. 4 minutes gone, first period of play. Shots 2-1 Calgary. Brad Stewart from Rocky Mountain House clears the zone. Onto it's Duchene. Down the wing into the Calgary end. Duchene backhand pass. That goes off Brody. Wide of the goal. Jerome McGinley after it in the corner. He's checked, and the Flames break back the other way. Through center ice, David Jones wires it around. Boma lets it go to Granlund. Kicks the puck to Boma. Now Jones in the corner. Jones turning. Feeds it back to the line. Put it between Brody and Englund and all the way down the ice. Ramo will leave that for TJ Brody. Taking his time, slowly out of his own zone. Joe Colborne takes the pass. Checked by Everberg. Backlund able to recover. Brody fires it across. Diaz just off the bench, turns back to Brody. Over to Diaz. Lead pass, carried in now, down the wing by Josh Duras. Tried to play it out front, that deflects behind the net up the near boards. Cleach, Everberg didn't get it deep. Intercepted by Schlemko, played it to an open wing at center ice. Tyson Barrie there for Colorado. Nate Gennon, Tyson Barrie. Wheels out of his own zone. 9th in D scoring this season, Tyson Barrie, as the Flames break up that rush. Blasted back in by the Avs. Diaz picks it up in the corner. David Schlemko up the boards to Brandon Bollig, who chops the puck to the line and out. Hops over a stick. Here goes Raymond with Stajan. Could be a 2-on-1. Stajan out front with a shot. Blocked. Getting down in front of that was Nate Gennon. Here's a chance for Stajan. Blocked again. Puck comes on the other side. Played back out front into traffic. Raymond's tied up as the Flames pressure. Weidman was in deep on the far side. Avs able to corral the puck, though, and it's cleared to center by Barrie. Bounces through into the Calgary zone. Matt Stajan onto it there for the Flames. Back the other way for Calgary. Late in the shift, plays it deep, and then turns to the bench. As we approach the 6-minute mark of a scoreless first period, Nick Holden Lead pass to Landeskog. Now O'Reilly into the wing with speed. Shot off the wing, stopped by Rommel. Rebound goes behind the wrap around. Rommel scrambled back and made the save. Another dangerous chance for this line, but the Flames break back the other way. Lance Boma, David Jones, 2-on-1. Jones right in, scores! David Jones likes playing his old team, makes it 1-0 Calgary.
Wow, what chances. Flames get a 2-on-1, the Avs come back, they get this great chance on a wraparound. Landeskog comes up with the puck and Rommel save. Just a desperation save by Rommel, excellent. And then the goal, Lance Boma spots David Jones, perfect pass under the stick of Nick Holden. And that is David Jones at his finest right there. Power forward, skating hard to the net. And a quick release. Varlamov, no chance, coming from his right to his left.
6 years with the Avs. Jones had a goal and an assist last game in Colorado in a losing cause. He scores here and the Flames drop first blood.
Good scoring chances, so the Flames had the 2-on-1. Gannon with a couple of blocks. Avs come back and then the Flames finish it off.
Colorado is one of the most fun teams to watch play because they just do not ever take the foot off the accelerator. And you know the Flames like to play too, so we shouldn't be surprised. Here's Joe Colborne on the boards. Works the puck across the line. Passes over to Derek Englund. Englund backhands it deep for Backlund. Checked down low by O'Reilly. Backlund recovers. Hoodler comes in to help out. Flames start a change. Back to Englund with a quick shot on Varlamov. Big rebound. And it's lifted to the line by O'Reilly. Not out. Brody kept it onside. Backlund with a shot. That hit Redmond. Brody onto the puck. Loose in the crease. And Varlamov kept that one out. Scramble in the goal crease and somehow it stayed out of the net. That close to being 2-0 Calgary. Finally, pressure relieved by the Avs as O'Reilly fires the puck in and around. Jarome Iginla, what a season he's having in Colorado. Signed a 3-year deal and has played extremely well this year. Iginla with 24 goals and 50 points.
Slow start again, too. I think he had 2 goals in his first 11 games, both goals in 1 game. And he's been on fire since.
Leading scorer on the Avs in goals and points this season for the 37-year-old. Puck played into the Calgary zone. Icing Wade. Russell goes back to it. 8 minutes gone. 1-0 Calgary. Very few whistles. Mason Raymond will work it in. Cuts across, then feeds the puck to Bollig. Brandon Bollig. Pass intercepted by Iginla. Still out there. And he'll bank it up the boards and finally clear. Stajan put it right back in. Bollig caught offside. And we get a chance to catch our breath. 11:48 left in the first. David Jones making it 1-0 Calgary on that feed for Lance Boma. David Jones' 13th goal of the season means we have our first winner in the score and win tonight by shopping at Safeway. Karen Bork of Calgary's one of Bradley 4-burner stainless grill courtesy of Safeway and Nabob Coffee.
And the Flames almost went up 2-0 if not for a brilliant save by Varlamov, the Avs' best player. It's a scramble in front. Johnny Gaudreau just to the left of Varlamov. He stretches across that left pad. Used that 6'2" frame of his. Could have been 2-0 shortly after the Jones goal.
They get it, dumps the puck into the Calgary zone. Flames wired up the boards for Raymond. Barry pinches, puck stays onside, bounces back to Raymond. This time he clears off the boards. We're back to the puck is Joey Hishon. Drops it off to Nate Ginnon. Over to Tyson Barrie. A wheel out of his own end. Barrie winds up with a long slapper from center. Ramos struggled with that one. Almost looked like he lost it for a moment. Able to fight it off with an awkward save. Stajan in the corner fighting for a loose puck. Played back to Redmond at the line. Behind the net, Briere couldn't knock it down. Bollig goes to it in the corner. Back to the other side to Schlemko. And he'll lift it to safety as the Flames make a change. Bouncer in the neutral zone. Knocked down by David Jones. Redmond there to take it away. Granlund hassles him. And Jones corrals the loose puck approaching the midway mark of the first period. TJ Brody. Too far for Jones. Jan Hayda to it. Landeskog can't take the pass, but it comes to O'Reilly and he'll clear. Lifts the puck through center. Brody's back. Tanguay watching him as Brody retreats behind the net. Plays the puck up to Jones. Jones through center. Boma joins him on the rush. Pass to Boma. Lost it along the boards. Nick Holden there. Stolen by Jones on a good play. Now Boma to the puck. Comes free in the circle to O'Reilly. Granlund battling hard. Good work by this line. Now they peel off, and that gives Landeskog time to work the puck out of his own end. Gabriel Landeskog through center. Nice pass. Cleach, long shot, put it wide. TJ Brodie onto the puck off the end boards. Banks it ahead. Gaudreau couldn't take the pass. Brad Stewart did. Cleach dumps it in for the Avs. Derek Englund races back. Cody McLeod after the puck as well. Englund got there first. Gaudreau tip pass, and here comes Monahan through center. 29 goals for the 20-year-old. As Varlamov stops the puck behind the net. Played it ahead, and Cleach feeds it to Cody McLeod, the all-time Avalanche penalty leader. McLeod down the wing on the backhand. Blocker saved by Ramo. The rebound to Cleach. Now McLeod behind the goal. Barry's pinched from the point. Now he turns back toward the line. Puck in the far corner where Sean Monahan gets control. Plays it out for Yuri Hudler. Gannon had fallen, but from his backside made a good play as Hudler was almost getting away on an odd man rush. Nate Gannon swatted the puck away.
The Avs were looking for an interference penalty on Hudler.
Backlund to center ice. That rush broken up by Iginla. Flames get it back. Here's Joe Colborne with a bit of room off the wing. Cuts out front. Lost the puck as it goes behind the net. Puck fed around the boards and out as Brodie coming off the bench. Couldn't get there in time. 11 minutes gone, first period. Good pace. Joe Colborne. Lead pass to Josh Juris. Michael Backlund over the line. Trying to feed it out front for Colborne. That was blocked. Iginla corrals the loose puck. Third game back in Calgary as an opposing player for Jarome Iginla. Tyson Barrie now gets around Backlund. Barrie over the line. Feeds a pass back to Mitchell. Fakes the shot. Passes instead. That's stopped by Ramo. As the shot got through off the stick of Redmond. Penalty coming up to Calgary. Matt Duchene works it up the boards. Drops off the puck for Mitchell. Flames finally touch it. And the Avalanche get the first power play of the game with 8:29 to go. In the first period, it's 1-0 Calgary. The Flames going to the box when we come back. Josh Juris off for tripping Kelly Carrier. Ramo had to stop a bit of a knuckleball from center ice a moment ago.
This is a crazy shot. Tyson Barrie near center ice, and this puck dips on Ramo, and he wisely plays that more like a lacrosse goal turn. Just get the entire body behind the puck. Don't try and make a glove save with very little of your body behind as a cover-up. Pretty good save. He didn't know where the rebound went, but nonetheless, that's a dangerous play.
Yeah, you can see from the end zone camera the puck really dipped.
Totally.
Made that save more awkward than it might have seemed it had to be. So the Avalanche in the power play, second worst power play in the league, goes to work with the Flames up 1-0. Barrie works the puck down the boards. Back to Jarome Iginla at the line. Plays it across. O'Reilly, Iginla. Barrie. Tanguay, Landeskog. Barrie, one-timer. Glove save, Ramo. Through traffic, able to snag that one. And he hangs on for a whistle.
He's looked very sharp so far today, but he's getting a little bit more action. Last game versus Columbus, never really got much of a groove going. Didn't have a lot of work. Well, tonight's a different story. He's had some really dangerous chances, and he's looked very good. Not only in making some of these saves, Rick, but it looks to me like he's really efficient in moving the puck to his defenseman, too.
Dennis Wideman off the drive, will wire the puck around the glass, takes a bad bounce and goes out of play. So we'll get a face-off again in the Calgary zone.
Bob Hartley, like most coaches that are going to play the Avalanche, was talking about one of the difficulties in facing them, and he said, well, Varlamov. Basically, that's how he left it, that just he knows the task at hand, how difficult it is to score on him, and not many clean shots, he said. And I talked to some of the people around the Avs, and they talked there's usually a deflection involved.
Tyson Barrie on the boards to Landeskog. Leads the puck to the corner, now it's fed back to the line. Barrie works it across, drops it off for Ryan O'Reilly. Down low for Landeskog. Iginla was pinching back door. Landeskog couldn't take the pass cleanly. Barrie resets. Flip pass to O'Reilly. Back to Barrie. One-timer. That whistle's high. Big bounce off the inboard glass, hit the back of the net. Iginla onto it behind the goal. Puck in the corner now. O'Reilly gets there first. Back to Barrie. 55 seconds left in the power play. It's all been in the Calgary zone. Barrie, another one-timer. That goes off. Backlund wide. Sharp angle shot by Tanguay from the far side, one off the outside of the net. The Flames get the loose puck and fire it down the ice. And we've got a penalty coming up against Colorado for what seems to be the 37th time in the last two games. Dennis Wideman gets high-sticked.
Just what I was thinking, exactly. So Wideman's going to go behind his net, try and pick up this loose puck. And Landeskog gets his stick in the face of Wideman right there. See how Wideman reacted, but you're right, there's Two cases of that in the third period alone versus Columbus last afternoon, Saturday afternoon.
So a little 4-on-4 for 42 seconds. And we know how effective the Flames have been 4-on-4 this season. Monahan facing off against Matt Duchene. 14 4-on-4 goals this year for Calgary, including overtime games. But the Avs control off the draw. Matt Duchene drops it off. Nick Holden will work it towards the line and fire a pass to Mitchell through center. Mitchell carries in, stops on the half wall. Back to Holden. Gets around Gaudreau with a shot. That goes off a stick over the glass, not a play.
John Mitchell enters the zone and passes it back to Nick Holden. And a nice little move right here around Backlund. That's Nick Holden. Nice play right there. Offensive flair. 27-year-old from St. Albert, Alberta.
Clean win for Monahan on the draw. TJ Brodie gets the puck. Another 19 seconds left in the 4-on-4. The Flames will get their first power play, albeit abbreviated. Sean Monahan out of his own zone. Long pass to Gaudreau. Tips it in. Varlamov plays the puck. Flips it up the glass for Matt Duchene, and he'll break out the center ice. Has Mitchell with him. 2-on-2, working on Brodie and Weidman. Pass broken up by Brodie on a good play. Penalty to Juris is over, and he's out of the box. Can't accept the pass. Weidman follows up, waits for Juris to get outside the line. Now finds Monahan. Flames work the puck in on the power play. Johnny Gaudreau sets up on the half boards. Works it to the bottom of the circle. Gaudreau all the way in behind the net. Plays it back across to Russell. Over to Weidman. Wrong side. Back to Russell. Gaudreau now. Monahan. Gaudreau. Hudler at the side of the goal. Weidman one-timer. Glove save Varlamov. And he hangs on with 48 seconds left in the power play.
Well, great goaltending is one of the biggest ways to kill penalties. And Varlamov makes this shot, this one-timer from Weidman, look pretty easy. And you take a look how difficult it is to score on this team on the power play. Their penalty kill since February 20th is just over 96, almost 97% in efficiency. That's pretty good. You're going to have to do something pretty remarkable to score on them.
And that's more than a month.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty decent sample size.
Yeah, I would say.
Like 1 goal against in the last 13 games on the penalty kill for Colorado. On the other hand, the Flames power play has been very good. 10 goals the last 9 games for Calgary at the man advantage.
A lot of that the Monahan line,
which is out there right now. 33 seconds and counting left in this shortened power play for Calgary as Chris Russell carries towards his own line. Drops it off for Gaudreau. Fires it across to Weidman. Weidman trying to toe drag. Won't get it around Jan Hejda. The wily veteran takes the puck away, fires it down the ice.
Nice description about Hejda. Terrific warrior out there. Battles every game and provides excellent leadership as well.
36-year-old defenseman for the Avs. Russell fires the puck in and around. Tanguay watched by Weidman, who kicks it down low as the penalty winds down and comes to an end. Flames get the puck though. Backlund turning on the half boards. Here's Juris trying to jam it in. Puck slid off his stick. Weidman threw it out front. Bounced off the foot of Backlund. And it's controlled by O'Reilly and cleared. A little too far for Landeskog. Josh Juris carries in. Played it for Raymond. Puck wound up in the corner. Brad Stewart tied up by Mason Raymond. Landeskog gets the puck. And the Avs captain drops it off for Nate Giddin. Back to Landeskog. Both teams finish off a change. Shots dead even, 6 apiece. David Jones with the only goal in this game as we approach the final 4.5 minutes of the first period. Landeskog. Duchene dancing through center ice. Matt Duchene, great skater, cuts out front. Rommel makes the save. The rebound cleared aside by Stajan. What a rush by Duchene, who gets the puck back to the line. John Mitchell looking for a lane. Got that through, but put it wide. Bounced out of the corner. Up the boards, Brodie. Tied up by Iginla. Puck played down low for Duchene with a pass out front, and Rommel got a stick on that one, deflected away. Tyson Barrie over to Mitchell. Mitchell, Barrie turns down the boards. Trying to cut out front. Shot blocked. Puck caught up and geared in the slot. Finally falls free, and the Flames able to clear the zone and make a change as Nick Holden goes back to the puck. Over to Barrie. Hard around. Schlemko cuts it off in the corner. Watched by Iginla. Back the other way for Colborne. Missed the puck. Off the bench, picking that off was Joey Hishin, but his pass deflects back out to the neutral zone.
Avs a little bit of the momentum right now.
Following up on that good penalty kill, Joe Colborne works it back in for Calgary. Drop pass to Juris with a shot. That hit Hischian. Felt that one, but he stays out there on the puck and is able to get control. Tries to clear, couldn't get it out. Jan Hejda will retreat behind his net to relieve some pressure. Over to Redmond. Danny Briere, nice pass. Caron with a shot. Rommel makes the save. No rebound. And we get a whistle with 3:05 to go. And the first period of play, Matt Duchene is flying. But it's the Flames who lead 1-0 in Calgary.
Tell us when the Calgary Flames present We Heart Flames contest. Show your love and post a picture of your Flame spirit to Twitter or Instagram with the hashtag We Heart Flames during the telecast for a chance to win big.
3:05 left in the first period. 1-0 Flames lead. Fast opening period.
Very fast.
Very few whistles and a lot of pace.
Love seeing the creativity of some of these young gifted stars in our game today.
Nate McKinnon not in the game. All right, sophomore for the Avs, the reigning Calder winner, is out with a broken foot. As the Flames clear the zone, Holden goes back to the puck. Banks it off the boards, give away to Granlund. Granlund with a shot, hit the back of Jones. Schlemko to it near side. Flips it down low for Boma. Puck bouncing around, the Avalanche control off McLeod and out to center ice. Flames dump it right back in again. As Holden picks it up. And then waits him behind his own net before he finds Ryan O'Reilly. Through center ice with speed over the line. Tanguay on the backhand out front. Shot wide of the goal by Landeskog. Rebound, chip back to the slot. Shot, they score! Alex Tanguay put it in. And he's tied the game at 1, so a former Av scores for Calgary, a former Flame for the Avalanche.
Well, we just saw a rush by Matt Duchene, #1 centerman for the Avs, flying through the neutral zone, getting a chance just before the commercial. Well, here's another one. This one is Ryan O'Reilly, and he comes with unbelievable speed again. Creates that opportunity right there. Tanguay with that wonderful pass, which we've seen for years and years. Landeskog hits the side of the net, the post. Puck comes back out front to Tanguay. And it was a mad scramble defensively for the Flames after that. But that whole rush and the speed by O'Reilly created that goal.
Tanguay from Landeskog and O'Reilly, 20th of the season for Alex Tanguay. And we are tied at 1 with 2 minutes to go in the first period. Michael Backlund onto a loose puck. Plays it across for Chris Russell, who will lead the rush over the line. Joe Colborne out front. That deflects off Russell into the corner. O'Reilly bumped by Josh Juris. Landeskog gets the puck. Fires it across, and Tyson Barrie lead pass to Tanguay. Tipped it in. And then gets it off Russell. Now to Barrie. Picks it up off the boards. Barrie in deep. Shovels it around to the other side. Weidman's there. And Joe Colborne plays it off Tanguay out to David Jones down the wing. Jones with a shot. That deflects off Redmond behind the net. Jones back onto it. Brody has to retreat as Mitchell takes the puck. Skates it out. Lost it for a moment. And now the Flames control. Lance Boma. Pushed to the boards by Redmond. Puck comes back to Boma. Bounces off him. Granlund trying to pick it up. Mitchell able to regain control for Colorado. And find Matt Duchene, who feeds it into a Jerome Iginla on the right side. John Mitchell down low. Duchene behind the net. Final minute of play in the first. Flames steal the puck away. Granlund over to David Jones. Back for TJ Brody up on the rush. Brody got it in. Boma, lone man right now on the forecheck. And the Avs with control. Iginla. Cross-ice pass deflects off Yuri Hudler. Derek Engelland goes back to it. Sean Monahan brings it out. Fires that around. Holden in the corner. Pass for McLeod, intercepted. Played back to Russell. Russell shoots. Varlamov with a save. And no rebound. 25 seconds to go in the period.
Chris Russell steps into this one. And with no traffic, again, with the goaltender as good as Varlamov, it's going to be pretty tough to beat him right there. Going for a rebound. Let's go back. Alex Tanguay scored tonight. Go back to March 14th. This is the work that he put in that night. Goal, and then added this assist later in the game. That was in the Avs 3-2 victory as well. He was the first star of that game.
Puck goes out of play at the Colorado bench. 19.4 seconds to go in the period.
Alex never been the fastest skater in the game, but that's not what his game is about. He's 35 years old and just a very, very clever hockey player. Take another look at that. That's that pass again. I mean, very few players have the ability to try and make that backhand pass over to Landeskog. That's just something that Tanguay's always had.
Good bounce back season for him after injuries shortened his year last season. There's a shot off the draw. They score! Wideman pulled the trigger and hit something in front. The Flames in the dying seconds of the period make it 2-1.
Wow, what an unexpected goal late in this first period. Seemed as though it was going to end 1-1 right off the face-off. Comes back to Wideman. He just throws it, but it looks to be harmlessly to the front of the net. I think that hits the Avs defenseman. Is it Brad Stewart, number 17? No, that's Holden in front.
Did it go off Hoodler? He celebrated like he may have touched it, Kevin.
Yes, he did. I can't tell from here, but that's a massive goal.
With 16 seconds left in the period, right off the faceoff. And it is Yuri Hoodler's goal. He's been red hot of late, as has that entire line. Hoodler from Wideman and Monahan. And that's big. The Avs have taken a little momentum away.
Yep.
Tied the game. Flames, the 1944 mark of the first period. Make it a 2-1 game.
This period brought to you by the bold new 2015 Toyota Camry. One bold choice leads to another.
TELUS Flames hockey from Calgary. The Flames with the late one in period number 1, and hence they hold a 2-1 advantage after 20 minutes of play. And without further ado, we bring in Mr. Eric Francis, our Flames analyst, to talk about secondary scoring, something this team had to find because 10 games left, they weren't getting it. Tonight, maybe some signs and finally a goal.
Yeah, they were riding the coattails of that top line, and that can get you pretty far, but not as far as this team needs to go to get into the playoffs. Last 3 games in a row, nobody on any of the forward lines other than that top line had scored a goal. So the coach went down back to the drawing board, threw some different lines together, and it paid off. They started getting more pucks in net. Right there's your second line with Joe Colburn. Backlund's on that line too. But here's the third line. A beautiful passing play from Boma over to Jones. They generated probably most of the offensive chances in that first period. It pays off, and again, they need that to happen to take pressure off that top line, because as these games get more and more important, teams are going to key on that top line more and more.
Well, former Flame Alex Tanguay scored the lone goal for the Avalanche, his 20th of the season. He's a big reason why Jarome Iginla playing in Denver this year. And what did you think of Jerome's game in the first?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Jerome told us this morning that a large part of the reason why he decided to pick the Avalanche, aside from the money that they were offering him and the security of a 3-year deal. But, you know, Alex Tanguay was on the team. He loved playing with Alex over the years here in Calgary, and he also knew a familiar face in that dressing room. A lot of reasons why he decided to play with Alex, on top of the fact that Alex is a pretty talented guy. He's always been known as a setup guy, but there he is. 20 goals this year, not bad. A guy that the Flames have got to watch a little closer in the next period. But I want to show you Jarome Iginla, because we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about him when he comes back to Calgary. It's his 3rd time back. He says this is as normal a game as he's ever felt he's had back at the Dome. But this is very abnormal. We never saw this in Calgary the entire time he was here, where he would man the point on the power play, the last man back. It's not something you saw often. It's something Patrick Roy's been using quite a lot this year. Obviously, they're doing to try and capitalize on that big shot of his, and people in Calgary very familiar with that big shot, and of course, that smiling face.
There's a look at him. Tanguay and Iginla, second period action all set. Rick Ball, Kelly Rudy, it is yours.
All right, Roger and Eric, thank you very much. We check the first period scoring summary with the Flames leading by a score 2-1.
David Jones put the Flames up with his 13th 1-0. Alex Tanguay with 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes to go in the first, ties it with his 20th. And then Yuri Hoodler with his 27th put the Flames up 2-1 with 16 seconds left in that first.
Big goal by Hoodler as the puck hit the curved portion of the glass at the Colorado bench, and that will draw a whistle with 11 seconds gone in the second period.
Well, what a surprise, Rick, when asked Patrick Roy, like all the other coaches that the Flames are playing against, what he thinks about the Flames. What did he say? Work ethic. That's a real surprise, isn't it, when they brought up the first thing about just how hard they are to play against?
It's been their secret. Not that it's a secret.
No, it's not a secret anymore.
Certainly been the formula for success for the Flames this season. Landeskog with the puck. Works it across the line. Gabriel Landeskog with a shot. Put that just wide. They get it in deep. Puck goes behind the net. Brody trying to get there. Knocked away by Alex Tanguay. Gets the puck in the corner. Drops it off down low for O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly battling Granlund. Finds Landeskog. Back to Barry. Barry has to reload. Doesn't shoot. Landeskog wires it around. Getting still in deep behind the net. Tanguay lost it in the skates of the official. Puck winds up in the far corner. Landeskog there ahead of Brody. Tanguay knocked off his stick. Brody tried to fire it up the boards. Cut off along the wall. Landeskog. Good first shift here for Colorado. Tanguay. Holden with a bit of room and a shot. Ramo out the challenge. Makes the save. He looked over his shoulder. The puck caught up in his gear and he hangs on.
You're right, Rick. A lot of zone time for the Avalanche on this one, and they were just tiring out the Flames defenders. A lot of down low work right here, and then Holden just sneaks in from his point spot, and Ramo wasn't quite sure. I think he had a pretty good idea that he had held the puck for a face-off, but not entirely sure, so he took a little look behind himself.
Took a peek?
Yep.
Everything's okay.
That's
all under
okay,
control.
yeah.
Nothing to see here. Long pass through center for Hoodler, broken up by Matt Duchene. John Mitchell plays it back in for the Avs. Hops away from Weidman. Iginla on the forecheck. Now Mitchell on the other side. Turns on the half boards as he watched by Chris Russell. Now Duchene. Weidman pushes him to the boards. Monahan comes in to help. Iginla there for the Avs as well. Squirts free to Duchene out front. That pass broken up by Russell. Weidman to it. Johnny Gaudreau turns on the boards, and he'll bring the puck out the center ice. Lead pass to Hoodler. Tight quarters there as he dumps the puck in. Varlamov stops it behind the net, leaves it for Brad Stewart. Brad Stewart playing in his 1,041st game. Over to Holden. Long pass misses Cody McLeod, but he got a piece of it, so no icing on the play. Ramo feeds it up the boards. Comes back to the line. Colborne threw a big hit along the boards on Cleach. From behind, that's going to be a Calgary penalty. Varlamov races to the bench for the extra attacker. Everberg dumps it in. Ramo plays the puck. Whistle blows, and the Avs go back on the power play. Well, we had another winner we had to get to yet. Score and win contest. Ruth Manning of Calgary. On behalf of Safeway and Nabob Coffee, Ruth, you've won the Blu-ray prize pack from E1 thanks to Calgary's second goal tonight.
So Joel Colborne is going to spend the next 2 minutes or less in the penalty box because of this hit. Cleach gets the puck right here, and there's the boarding penalty to Joe Colborne. And the Avalanche go on the power play.
0 for 1 in the power play. One shot. Power play cut short by a Colorado penalty. 13.8% coming in, 29th in the league on the power play. Flames penalty kill is 23rd. But as we talked about before, fewest times shorthanded in the NHL, and also the 4th fewest power play goals against in the entire league. One of the best ways to kill penalties is don't take it.
Yep, that's right. I think discipline has been a part of every championship in any sport.
Landeskog wheeling in with speed. Cuts behind the net, lost the puck as Russell poked it away. Weidman kicks it up to his stick, and it's tipped to the line, not out. Good job by Iginla to keep it onside, but only for a moment. Boma cleans up that mess and fires it down the ice in the backhand. Tyson Barrie out of his own zone. Flips it across on the right side for Iginla. Over to Landeskog, back to the point to O'Reilly. Down low for Iginla in the corner. Landeskog. Ryan O'Reilly. Now Barrie. Tanguay, who has the Colorado goal in this game. Flip pass for O'Reilly. Pokes it over to Iginla with a one-timer. Glove save, Ramo. Saw that one all the way, and he hangs on for a whistle.
Well, Tyson Barrie, we've talked about him many times and leading up to the show and during the broadcast about how dangerous he is. It looks like on the entry he's going to set up that bump back, but he doesn't. He just sort of throws a nice little backhand pass over there for puck retrieval. And then one-timer right here from Iginla. For all of us Calgarians, we've seen this a lot over the years, and he gets in terrific position for that one-timer.
Face-off win for the Avs. They reload on the power play. Redmond plays it on the far side to Mitchell. Down low for Duchesne, trying to get it out front. Tipped off his stick by Brody. Holden in deep, back behind the net to Duchesne, over to John Mitchell. Brody on him. Puck battle ensues. Brody wins the fight. And it comes to Boma, who dumps it all the way down the ice with a half minute to go on the Colborne penalty. 4 minutes gone, second period. Still 2-1 Calgary. Here's Mitchell. Into the zone with speed. Back to the line to Holden with a bit of room. Waiting for traffic. Plays the puck to Mitchell. Late in the power play. Mitchell, hard pass, side of the goal. Briere put it out front, tipped away. Redmond keeps the play alive in the offensive zone. Duchesne tips it for Mitchell. Holden backdoor, played out front. Puck tied up, and out come the Flames. Penalty's over. Colborne joins the rush. Here's TJ Brody trying to get a shot away. He's tied up, got a weak one on goal. Varlamov made the save. And covers up the puck at the top of the crease. Just one shot on that power play for Colorado.
Okay, that was a superstar shift by TJ Brody. Very few players have the ability to do this. Here's a defensive play right here. Stick on puck. Take away that opportunity. Then it's going to be a puck battle in the corner, and he's going to win that from John Mitchell, who happens to be a really strong player, by the way. And now another play by Brody right here. And then what does he do? Well, that's not enough. I'm going to make one more and then lead the rush up the ice because I'm that fit as well. That was absolutely stunning to watch.
Gaudreau back to the line to Diaz. Quick shot, tipped away, and the puck goes off the glass into the netting and out of play. So a great shift for TJ Brody on the penalty kill. And what can you say about his place all season, Kelly? But since the injury to Giordano, just that much more on his shoulders.
Absolutely, and he hasn't withered under that sort of pressure. You know, here's a guy that's really embraced it. He and his partner Derek England have really played extremely well together, but Brody just, I mean, that was a remarkable thing that all of us were able to just witness.
Shot by Gaudreau through traffic. Varlamov makes the save and hangs on.
One of the things you have to do with Varlamov, like on the Hudler goal late in the first period, get some traffic. It's so difficult to score on a guy like this when he's seeing the puck so well right now. There was a high slot deflection actually on that play right there.
Another face-off win for Sean Monahan. The Flames won 65% of the face-offs in the first period. Monahan was 6-1 on the dot in the opening frame. 11-3 now in the game, so good night so far for Sean Monahan in the circle. He heads into the forecheck. And puck played up the boards.
Sorry, Rick. You don't do that often against the Avalanche. They've 10 straight games they've had the advantage in the face-off circle.
Brad Stewart tied up by Monahan. Gaudreau comes in to help out. Cleach gets the puck behind the net to Jan Hejda. And he finds a bit of room as the Flames are changing out to Cleach at center. Dumps it in and heads into the forecheck. Russell's back for it. And Matt Stajan brings it out. Long pass to Mason Raymond. Backs over the line, put himself offside. 14.5 minutes left in the period.
Well, just how difficult is it to score 2 goals already early in the second period on Varlamov? Well, these numbers will tell you that it's not very easy to score 1.5 goals on Varlamov in an entire game. That save percentage is absolutely ridiculous, .956. So he's on some run right now.
The half goal, like 2.5 kids for an average. Tyson Barrie back to the puck. Long pass through center, knocked down, stolen away. Here comes Stajan, long shot up high, put it over the net. Puck bounces to Raymond near side. Behind the goal for Stajan, Bollig's out front. Stajan trying to get it there, finds Raymond, he couldn't reach the puck. Schlemko gets a shot away, deflected on goal. Varlamov down, is able to cover up for a whistle. Good shift for the fourth line.
Once again, and this is a common theme now in our broadcast, we get to talk about this fourth line and how well they're playing and how they're earning their ice time. Matt Stajan once again trying to find Mason Raymond with the backhand pass. Puck goes back to the point to Schlemko and all sorts of traffic. There's Bollig getting involved, and he is a big man. That's a hard player to take away from the front of the net.
Scramble draw. Puck winds up on the inboards. Jan Hejda plays it around. Englund pinches, shot by Juris, and Varlamov just got a piece of that and steered it wide. Here goes Tanga down the wing. Fires it in. Landeskog bumped along the boards. Flames wind up with the puck, and out they come. Josh Juris, Michael Backlund, back to Juris. Juris lost the puck as he was headed towards the goal. Gets it back, threw it out front. Colborne couldn't get a shot away. Brody tries. comes right back to him. That broke Tanguay's stick. Here's Derek Engelland with a bit of room and a shot. Deflects off a body wide of the goal. Juris driven into the goalpost by Redmond. That jars the net off its supports. No penalty on the play, but the whistle blows. 13:29 to go. Second period of play. Josh Juris looking for a call, doesn't get it. Flames still lead the Avalanche 2-1.
For every Flames hit this season, Jamin donates $100 to the fight against multiple sclerosis. Join the fight versus MS at Jamin.com. Here's a look at a familiar face, Corey Sarich, a longtime Calgary Flame and played a season in Colorado. Great to see him here taking in the action. That horrific bicycle accident he suffered in Invermere a couple of summers ago. Looks great, says he feels great. Good to see him at Scotiabank Saddledome.
Great to see Corey here. Boy, that was a terrible accident, and all of us were sure worried for him. And nice to see him looking good and nice and healthy. Looks like he's got some sun, Rick.
Yeah.
I think he's maybe been in Phoenix area for a little bit. I don't think he has that tan from being in Calgary this winter, eh?
Yeah, not this week anyway. You tell me there's 4 days of fog on
Something
average
like
per
that.
year in Calgary.
Right.
We had 2 of them last week.
I know.
Monahan against Duchesne on the faceoff. 13.5 minutes left in the second period. Clean win for Monahan. Russell down the boards with a shot. Varlamov save. Rebound loose. They jam away and Monahan put it wide. Back to the line of Russell. Dennis Weidman shoots high. Puck bounces around to Monahan. Good shift for the top line here. Yuri Hudler behind the goal. Nobody's out front. Hudler taking his time. Still nobody there. Now Monahan goes to the goal. Johnny Gaudreau in the corner. Hudler's out front now. There's the pass. He fanned. Weidman keeps the play alive. Weidman shoots into traffic. Hit a leg. Loose in the slot. Finally cleared up by the Avalanche. Wide of the goal. And it's an icing call on Colorado after an excellent shift for the line of Gaudreau, Monahan, and Yuri Hudler.
Starts right from the face-off, Rick. Monahan wins it right back to Russell, and he throws it in front, and then it's all about Monahan just out-muscling the defenseman in front. It's a 20-year-old player right there, and a little bit stronger than Nick Holden, and just loses the handle on it. But that was a terrific shift by the Monahan line. That's his zone time.
Brad Stewart's stick is broken, so conveniently they get a little breather after the icing call.
Weird how that happens. A veteran does something like that, and he gets away with it.
Granlund facing off against Matt Duchesne. And they'll redo it. Duchesne gets waived, protests. John Mitchell in to take the draw.
And he's a natural center, John Mitchell, so it works out okay for the Avs. Yeah,
You're not allowed to waive it, yeah.
Yes, I was surprised that was going to happen.
After icing, new rule this year,
right.
You don't wave out the center. What they don't want is guys intentionally mussing up the face-off to get an extra couple of seconds. But it worked to their advantage anyway, between the broken stick and...
And then the confusion.
Loose puck in the corner, Duchesne there to lift it high off the glove of Brody, and out it could be a 2-on-1. Up on the plays Iginla, and Mitchell hit the post! Iginla set up John Mitchell, open net, and he missed off the iron. Here's Jones back the other way. Jones with a pass, deflected on goal, and Varlamov makes the save and hangs on. Things get a little rough with the side of the Colorado goal, but it was at the other end where the goal post keeps it a 2-1 game.
Everybody says it's a game of inches. Well, how close is this? Duchesne is going to loft the puck up from his own zone, and TJ Brody almost intercepts this and keeps it in, and he can't quite it, just misses it by an inch or two. Jerome Iginla finds Mitchell, and he can hit the post, which again, game of inches. 1 inch over, closer to the center of the net, probably hits the post and in. This time it hits the post and goes out.
Fourth line shift, staging against Cleach on the draw. Gedden plays it behind the net to Barrie. Back to Nate Gedden. Bank pass for Cody McLeod, and it just slides outside the line. Staging there to pick it up. David Schlemko. Matt Staging kicks it in. Brandon Bollig in the corner. Mason Raymond on the boards. All the way back to the line. Played it across one-timer. Diaz put it wide. Tip back up front and hit Varlamov and bounce to a Colorado Avalanche. And here comes Barrie. This could be a 2-on-1. Barry shoots outside of the post, wide. Matt Stajan pokes the puck outside the line. Jan Hejda to it. Fired in by Redmond. Ramos stops that behind the net, leaves it for Schlemko. Bouncing puck, played it around, not out. Kept onside by Redmond. To the high slot. Landeskog turns along the boards now. Back to Redmond with a one-timer. Pad save, Ramo. And the puck cleared by Raymond.
Well, this game is opening up a little bit. I don't know if the coaches necessarily like this.
Fans do.
Yeah, and I do.
Dennis Weidman at center. Backlund worked it in. Stolen. O'Reilly feeds it ahead. Alex Tanguay works it down the wing. Tanguay cuts up towards the slot. Got it across for O'Reilly, but out of his reach. And Backlund broke up that play. Kept on side at the line. Holden played it deep. Fired up the boards. Looked like there were too many men on the ice for a second. Play continues. Fans don't like that as the Flames settle it down. Joe Colborne plays it across. Here goes Backlund to center with Juris. Michael Backlund stops just inside the zone. Plays it deep and then turns to the bench in the change, approaching the midway mark of the second period. Shots are 15-11 Calgary. They lead 2-1. Weidman knocks it down at center ice. Colborne tipped it in, not deep. Weidman has to regroup. Sean Monahan sitting on 29 goals, wheels through center. Monahan carries in with a shot. Turned aside by Varlamov. Bounces to the end boards. And it went up into the netting above the glass. That draws a whistle.
Flames get an offensive chance. David Schlemko leaves his point position, tries to throw it out front, and there's Tyson Barrie, the defenseman, leading the rush right here. And he's on his off wing, and pretty good wrist shot right there. Ramo gets blocker on that. Initially, I thought it might have hit the post. And was it too many men? This is what the fans were calling for. Russell just throws it around by the Avs bench. Dennis Weidman calls it, but the officials don't. So we stay 5-on-5.
Still don't give players whistles in this league. So otherwise, the Flames will be on the power play. TJ Brodie back at center. Past the midway mark of the period. Derek Englund now in his own zone. To Brodie. Hoodler tipped it in. And that goes out of play. 9:44 left in the second period. The Flames still leading by a score of 2-1. Telus Flames Hockey on Sportsnet.
This time, we'd like to remind you that Safeway's featured product for tonight's game is Nabob Coffee. Well, the coach of the Flames, Bob Hartley, has some great ties, not only here in Calgary now, but back in Denver with the Colorado Avalanche. There's a look at a much younger Bob Hartley. Led the Avs to a Stanley Cup with this man, goaltender Patrick Waugh, back in 2001. There's a look at Jacques Cloutier. Ah, yes, young fellas. That's what you look like in Denver. Now both helping out here with the Calgary Flames.
Thank you, Roger. Doesn't look that different. Kelly,
No, he
a little
doesn't.
more gray hair, but
Still as fit as ever.
Yep. Lead pass by Jan Hejda fails to connect, and that is an icing call on Colorado. 9:38 to go in the second period.
Speaking about looking healthy, how good does Patrick look right now? And energized. That's always been the way that he's operated. Very, very passionate, but said youthful appearance right now. Maybe a touch of gray in the beard, but other than that, looks as good as ever.
And Kenneth Branagh beard going there.
Yeah.
It's been a tough year for him after a great season last year in his rookie year with the Avs. They finished with 112 points. They almost got out of the first round, lost that series in 7 to Minnesota.
October and November were not good months, but since December they've
been
played
so much
really
better.
well. Yeah.
We mentioned the stat earlier. We'll get to that in a second. There's Weidman off the draw with a shot. He whistled that over top of the net. But no better indicator as to how difficult it is to make up ground in the NHL and the Avalanche. They've gone 11-4-1 their last 16 games. They started that stretch out by 6. Here's Gaudreau with a shot. Put that off the goalpost. That was close. Avs started that stretch out by 8 points.
Yep.
Then they go 11-4-1. They're still out of the playoffs by 8 points.
That's crazy.
Here they come into the zone. One-handed shot. Pad saved by Ramo off Hischian. Chances at both ends. Shot from the line by Hejda, and Ramo makes the save, and he hangs on for a whistle.
What action. Johnny Gaudreau through the neutral zone. We've seen this so much recently. and gets an opportunity right here and then uses that speed. There's that quickness, 1 or 2 strides, lateral quickness as well, and he puts this one off the post. So it's about the 4th or 5th post. And then Hishin gets this one, former first rounder Hishin, a lot on that one-handed backhand. Kari Ramo, that was a spectacular save.
Joey Hishin, 17th overall pick in 2010, playing in his 3rd NHL game.
He's had so many injury problems.
Yeah,
but
almost had his first NHL goal right there.
Yeah.
Shots are 17-13 for Calgary.
He's in place for Freddie Hamilton, who just scored 2 games ago, his first NHL goal for the Avs.
Flames win the draw. Brody gets the puck off the boards for Lance Palma, who's tied up, but it clears the zone as O'Reilly drops it off to Holden. Puck bounces free. Brad Stewart there gives it to Landeskog across to Nick Holden. Out of his own zone, ahead to Ryan O'Reilly, who's knocked down by Granlund. Riley from his knees trying to make a play. Can't. Flames clear the zone. Maybe icing. Barely get the sweepers on that one. They blow it down on the icing call.
Kari Ramo, 12 saves in this game. In this game, it looks to me, Rick, Saturday afternoon was not a fun game for him to play. And I haven't talked to him about that, but just the body language would tell me didn't have a lot of work. And afternoon games can be really difficult for all players, but I find goaltenders especially. And he looks so much more comfortable in today's game. He's made about 6 or 7 spectacular saves, even though he's only faced 13 shots.
Off the draw, Barry works the puck towards the corner. Back up the boards, then flips it behind the net, but that goes off a stick and out of play, and the face-off will stay in the zone.
Jonas Hiller is one of the opportunities you have when you're not playing is you get to work with the goaltender coach. And in this case, Jordan Sigalet has done an amazing job with the backup, so-called backup, and putting in a lot of good work, a lot of video work. And I think the 2 goaltenders have been the beneficiaries of Sigalet's knowledge about the position.
Really has been a platoon system this season. And they go back and forth. The guy gets on a run. They ride him for a while, and other guy gets a chance. They ride him for a while, and you bring up Yoni Ortio for 5 games, and you ride him for a while. Play the hot hand. It's worked so far this year. As the Avs fire it in, McLeod gets it around on the far side for Everberg behind the net for Cleach. McLeod goes out front. Cleach bumped in the corner by Backlund. As they battle for the puck, Cody McLeod watched by Diaz. They both go down. McLeod back on his feet, kicks the puck to Cleach in the corner. He's checked, and Colborne brings it out for Calgary. 3 Flames through center. Pass for Juris is broken up at the line by Gedden. Colborne gets it back. Schlemko flips it in. Flames start a change. It's Tyson Barrie. Brings the puck out of his own zone. Plays it across to Matt Duchene. Raymond, meantime, lost his stick at the blue line as he ran into Iginla behind the play. Raymond's got his stick back. Avs control the puck in their own zone. Jan Heda, long shot from center, wide of the goal. Matt Duchene, nice play to get the puck to the slot. Backhand pass, and it goes off the stick of Mitchell. On a beautiful setup by Duchene, but Mitchell couldn't corral that pass, and the Flames turn it back the other way. Lifted in by Bollig. Raymond races onto it. Brandon Bollig on the boards. Back towards the corner for Raymond. Raymond throws the pass to Stage and trying to cut out front. Bollig there too. They chop away at a bouncing puck. Here's a chance for Raymond. Varlamov poked it away and rolled back to him. And he covers up on a scramble in front of the Colorado net.
Matt Duchene does a great job keeping the puck alive in the Flame zone, knocking the puck out of midair. But John Mitchell, I don't think expects this pass. He should shoot this right here. I think he's trying to look for Jerome Iginla, but that was right on his stick. And then the Flames get a chance at the other end, Mason Raymond. And again, the great work from Matt Stajan and Brandon Bollig keeping pucks alive in the high slot there. Varlamov with the poke check.
Top line out for Calgary. Tanguay gets the puck on the far side, and out come the Avalanche through center. O'Reilly will chip it in and give chase. Landeskog with it. Russell, first man back, plays it around. Holden pitches. Works the puck to the corner, had his pocket picked by Yuri Hudler, and the Flames come back the other way. Dumped in by Monahan. O'Reilly gets to it first. Forced behind the net by Monahan. Brad Stewart got it ahead. And Alex Tanguay, who has the Colorado goal in this game, got it as far as the Calgary line and no further. Nick Holden regroups back in his own zone. St. Albert, Alberta native plays it across to get it back to Holden in the corner. Inside 6 minutes to go in the second. As the Avs chip it deep. Chris Russell finds his partner Weidman ahead to Granlund. Lead pass David Jones. Jones trying to cut around Gennon. Got it around him but got bumped off the puck as the Avs take it away and clear the zone. Hisham with a long pass deflected in by Daniel Briere. Battle ensues on the far side. The Flames win the fight. Weidman with the pass to Jones at center ice. Blocked by Nate Gennon, who played it ahead. Too far for Caron. Granlund. Jones chips it in. Varlamov stops that behind the net. Flames start a change. Caron at the Calgary line will play it into the corner. Briere racing after it. TJ Brodie trying to tie up Briere. Now Backlund on Briere. Plays it behind the net. Cleach into the corner. Got it up front for McLeod with a shot. That deflects off Brodie wide of the goal. Avs keep the pressure on. McLeod falling down. Got a weak shot away and Ramo made the save. Loose puck. Cody McLeod. Pressure by Colorado for this line. Jan Hejda pinches. Got it to McLeod. Behind the net for Briere. Briere trying to get it out front. Knocked off a stick by Diaz. Fourth line applying some heat in the Calgary zone for the Avs. TJ Brodie banks it off the boards. Not out. Shot from the point. Didn't get through. Blocked by Diaz. McLeod on the backhand. Put it wide. Michael Backlund trying to get it out. Can't get it out. Redmond kept it onside, but now it's cleared by Backlund. Long change for Calgary, though. As Redmond retreats, Juris able to get to the bench. John Mitchell back into the Calgary zone. Jerome Iginla got it to up front of the goal. Duchesne stopped by Ramo. Nice stop, Kari Ramo. Another save off Matt Duchesne. Puck played to the line, and finally Yuri Hudler able to get control. He gets hooked. Taken down, no call. Play continues. Flames get it in deep. Inside 4 minutes to go in the second period. John Mitchell off the boards and out to Iginla at center. Nice pass to Duchesne. One-on-one on Russell. Shot by Duchesne goes wide. Russell may have got a stick on that. Weidman knocks down Iginla. Puck goes to Duchesne. Trying to get it out front of the goal for Mitchell. It's blocked by Ramo. Now Mitchell gets the puck. Iginla on the near side. Shot by Mitchell. Stopped by Ramo. Penalty coming up to Calgary. More pressure by the Avs. Delayed call on the Flames. Matt Duchesne gave it away to Yuri Hudler. And Colorado going on the power play as Weidman complains. Bob Hartley not happy. And the Flames lead by 1.
Lots of pressure by the Avs. Matt Duchesne gets left alone in front of Kari Ramo, able to control this puck. Ramo sticking out that right pad. Boy, has he looked good, keeping this game 2-1 for the Calgary Flames.
Colorado going on their third power play of the game.
Sean Monahan goes to the penalty box for hooking right here. He gets a stick in the midsection of John Mitchell, and now this is what the fans were calling for. Iginla on Hudler, and he takes Hudler down, but no call just prior to the Monahan penalty.
And that should have been a call.
It looked like it, yep, for
There
sure.
was an error coming out of the 04 lockout.
Yeah.
When there were 9 of those penalties a game with the stick in the hands like that.
In the first period.
Now that was definitely reaching into the hands of the stick. That one went undetected. The Monahan one gets called. The Flames have to kill off another Colorado power play. Tanguay back to the line. Barry plays it to O'Reilly. Down low for Landeskog. Again at the side of the goal. Barry one-timer, never got it through. Blocked and played off the stick of Barry out to center ice. Here goes Ryan O'Reilly. 4 Avs over the line. Landeskog in the slot. Iginla one-timer deflected across the crease. Weidman down. Slow to get up as the play stays onside. Weidman limping. Here's Iginla again in the circle. Back to the line to Barry. Down low for Landeskog. Good puck movement on the power play. Barry into the slot for O'Reilly. Landeskog in the circle. Side of the goal. Too hot to handle. Hops off a stick. Winds up on Iginla's stick in the corner. Feeds it back to Barry at the line. Barry. Iginla. Tanguay out front for O'Reilly. That's deflected wide of the goal. Landeskog gave it away, and the Flames will bring it out. Through center ice is Granlund. Long shot in on goal as he heads off on the penalty kill with 45 seconds left in the Calgary penalty. Here comes Jerome Iginla back out the center. Pass blocked by Boma. Derek Englund will settle things down and then fire it ahead. Juris trying to get in short-handed. couldn't take the pass. Holden was coming back anyway. And now John Mitchell wheels up from behind his own goal. Up to Matt Duchene, such a great skater. Over the line for Briere, just out of his reach. Pokes the puck to the corner. Englund trying to knock it loose. Flipped ahead. Holden keeps the play onside. Played it across to Redmond. Now Duchene, and it's going to be an offside call on Colorado as Redmond brought the puck outside the line.
The experience of Dennis Wideman on this power play. He sensed that the Avs are trying to set up Jerome McGinley for the one-timer, so he makes his way over there, and a kick save and a beauty. He stayed down for a couple seconds, though. I think he got that one on the right foot. He was able to recover and finish off his next shift, but just an amazing read by Dennis Wideman, recognizing that that might be the most dangerous option for the Avs.
Wideman back out there, okay, after blocking that shot. Holden gets the puck late in the power play and will fire it around. 9 seconds left in the Monahan penalty. Flames clear the zone, bounces off a stick into the Colorado bench. And 4 seconds left in the power play.
What a season Dennis Wideman has had. Wow, consider not only the offensive part of it, but defensively now he's a much improved player. We talked about this 2 days ago, but now killing penalties, blocking shots. Just like his partner Chris Russell, he's been a phenomenal player for the Flames this season.
13 goals this year, ties a career high. Duchene off the draw, trying to walk through the D. Couldn't do it. Flames clear, and Monahan's out of the box. No shots on that power play. Brad Stewart to the puck. Banks it out. And it's picked up by Matt Duchene with Mitchell on the rush. Duchene lost the puck, and then Monahan poked it away from Mitchell. Mitchell able to get the puck and keep the play alive in the offensive zone, at least momentarily. Brody breaks that up and banks it out to center ice. Final minute of play in the second period. Cleach trying to get around Brody. Forces Cleach behind the net. Out the other side, all the way back to the line with a pass shot from the point by Stewart. Rommel glove save, and he hangs on. Thought about playing it for a second, but we get a whistle.
NHL doubleheader action tomorrow on Sportsnet begins at 5 p.m. Mountain. The Los Angeles Kings, the Flames will be watching, visit the New York Rangers. Then at 8 p.m. Mountain, the Winnipeg Jets are in Vancouver. They'll meet the Canucks, 2 games that will have an impact on the Flames race to the postseason. And make sure you hang around in intermission number 2. 2015 Dodge Ram that we've been talking about for quite some time will be awarded here at Scotiabank Saddledome.
Rick, if you want to find me tomorrow night, I'll be in my office watching hockey all night with the Kings and Rangers, and then the late game after that.
That time of the year, so many big games, and what a race in the West especially. Just crazy, and things getting wild in the East too. That looked like it was almost pretty much set for the longest time.
Unbelievable play by Ottawa Senators lately.
Shot in by Backlund, deflected wide. David Jones onto the puck. Nice play to Backlund. Back to Russell, across to Wideman. Wideman, Boma. Lance Boma trying to cut out front. Shoveled the puck off the side of the goal. He gets it back. Backlund works the puck up the boards. Lost it momentarily. Regains control. David Jones gives chase. Puck bounces back to Wideman. Quick pass to Boma. Now Jones with a bit of room in a shot. Put it wide. Looks short side. Russell, good pressure by this line. Over to Wideman. Dumps it back behind the net. Brad Stewart onto it, and he'll wire it around the glass. As the horn sounds and the second period comes to an end. The way the first one did, with the Flames leading by a score of 2-1 through 40 minutes in Calgary.
Calgary's known for the Flames and the Rockies. Let's take a look at what's happening at the Rockies' best resorts.
Welcome back to Scotiabank Saddledome. Rick Ball with Kelly Rudy and Roger Millions, where the Flames lead the Avalanche 2-1, getting set for the third period. Let's check the scoring summary brought to you by Panago Pizza. Before, during, or after the game, get a fresh Panago.
And all the goals scored in the first period. David Jones put the Flames up 1-0. Alex Tanguay tied at 1-1. Late in the period, Yuri Hudler put the Flames up 2-1. Second period, big advantage for the Flames in the face-off circle and in block shots. Otherwise, fairly even. Played game.
Speaking of face-off, John Shannon singing the praises of Sean Monahan on the face-off dot tonight. 15-3 in face-offs for number 23 for Calgary.
How old is he?
20 going on 30.
Wow.
Having an unbelievable season. 29 goals and bright future in the National Hockey League as third period is underway. Rommel out of the goal, flips the puck up the boards. And it's cleared out by Boma, who winds up with control, then played it to an open wing. O'Reilly drops it off for Barry. Flames out shooting the Avs 18-17, 11-8 in that second period for Calgary. Landeskog brings the puck over the line, works it down the wing, turns on the boards, back to Barry, but he'd move towards the middle of the ice and it goes all the way down. Top line out for Calgary. Brad Stewart, Matt Duchene. Johnny Gaudreau breaks that up at center. It bounces to Weidman. Now Yuri Hudler had it hop away, and they're going to rule this an icing call on the Flames. 58 seconds into the period.
Had a nice chat this morning with Peter McNabb, the well-respected broadcaster of the Avalanche, about Tyson Barrie and what he thinks of him, and he is raving about him. And Peter knows hockey, so I'm going to go along with Peter. He said that it's not going to be too long until Tyson Barrie is going to be averaging ballparking around 70 points a year. That's what his ceiling is. He's that good a young player, that skilled, and it's going to be awfully fun to watch this guy play in the National Hockey League.
Western Hockey League Defenseman of the Year in 2010 with the Kelowna Rockets. Dad Len played some in the NHL.
Sure did. Isn't that a factory for defensemen?
Shot by Iginla just wide of the goal, and puck comes back to the other side. Rommel got a piece of that. I'm not sure he saw it. It came through traffic, but it bounced off Rommel wide of the goal. The Avs buzz for the tying goal. Taken away and cleared out by Monahan. No, it's not. Kept on side by Holden, who knocked it down. Jerome Iginla battling with Russell. Dennis Weidman in the corner. Pressured. Mitchell got the puck. Weidman stole it back, and he'll play at the center ice, where it bounces around near the Colorado line. John Mitchell onto it there. Flames start to change as the Avs control. Holden back in his own zone. Nick Holden. Long pass up the near side, misses McLeod, and it's icing on Colorado.
Avalanche get a good chance right here. It's going to go back to the point, and I believe it's Brad Stewart with Duchene in front. And there's a little bit of traffic. Finally, to get a little bit of layering. Oh, that puck was deflected along the way, and that's why Rommel had a hard time picking up. Just positioned beautifully. Rommel is. He had a hard time picking up the deflection, though.
Cleach beats Juris on the faceoff. Holden cuts behind the net, then drops it off for Stewart. Spent some time as a Calgary hitman, most of his junior career in Regina. Colborne banks it in. They wave off icing. Redmond back to it, pressured by Backlund. Holden watched by Colborne. Nick Holden clears the zone. Too far for Everberg. It slides right to Rommel. Steers the puck to Schlemko. He'll lift it back the other way. That'll be on goal. And Varlamov elects to cover up for a whistle.
Introducing the new BF Goodrich KO2 tire. BF Goodrich. Take control.
I expect this third period to pick up a little bit. The pace, it's been a little bit slower just to start this third period. Maybe cautiously played by both teams. I thought there were moments in the first and two periods, or the first two periods, where it was an absolute track meet.
Brandon Bollig behind the net. This fourth line's pretty good for the Flames tonight with Raymond on the wing. Stajan in the middle. He has the puck. Bollig chips it down low for Mason Raymond. Swatted away. Puck comes to Engelland at the line. Just kept it alive only for a moment. Avs take the puck away and clear the zone to Briere at center. In for Barrie. Stops. Feeds it towards the corner. Flames battle and get it back. TJ Brody to match Stajan. Three Flames over the line. Stajan. Bollig. Bollig shoots. Blocked by Gennon. And he clears the puck out. Avs work it back in. Shot off the wing, deflects behind the net. Briere tries a shot from the near side. That misses. Comes back to Jan Hejda. Played it around all the way to Redmond at the other side. That shot doesn't get through. But onto the puck is O'Reilly. Pressuring in the corner. Pass deflects behind the net to Briere. Out front for Hejda. Stopped by Rommel. Rebound loose. Puck slides back to the line. Jan Hejda gets control over to Redmond. Redmond to Landeskog one time. Rommel makes the save. Briere looking for a rebound, and Rommel able to cover up for a whistle.
CP Goals for Kids is proudly sponsored by Canadian Pacific and its 2,700 railroaders based in Calgary. For every Flames goal this season, the Railway will donate $250 to Kids Sport and the Flames Even Strength program. Keep scoring Flames, help CP build stronger kids and stronger community.
From our vantage point up here in the press box, you can see this play really developing where Briere's behind the net. Hayda sneaks in from his point position, gets an excellent chance, but Rommel covering the low part of the net.
Derek Engelland lead pass for Hoodler, doesn't connect. Puck goes deep. Gaudreau on the forecheck, bumping with Stewart in the corner. Landeskog gets the puck, throws it across the ice. Nick Holden will fire it ahead. Off the skate of Tanguay. Deep in the Calgary end. Derek Engelland there to TJ Brodie. Missed the pass. Landeskog gets it, retreats back to the line, then gives the puck to Tanguay. Pass across, deflected up by Gaudreau. Stewart goes to it. Takes his time. Kelly Mitchell, cautious start here to the third period, just past the 4-minute mark. John Mitchell through center. Over the line for Duchesne, shot off the wing, blocked by Chris Russell. Duchesne gets it back behind the net, trying to cut out front of the backhand, stolen away. David Jones pass, hits Granlund in the shoulder. Now bounces onto his stick, a rolling puck just inside the Colorado line, and back they come the other way. Duchesne with Iginla over the line. Duchesne, Iginla out front. Rommel makes the save on that shot by Matt Duchesne. Iginla gets the puck back to the line. Shot from the point, deflected out front. Rommel stops that too. And Weidman will try and clear. Puck goes off a body at the line and out to center ice. Tyson Barrie back in. He shoots, put it just wide. Puck around the boards and out. Redmond back at his own blue line. Watched by Joe Colborne as Redmond retreats into his own zone. Give away at the line to Backlund. Hands it back to Cleach. And Redmond will settle things down. Avs have the only 4 shots so far in the third period. Everberg dumps the puck in. Derek Engelland puts it around the boards. Cut off on the far side by Cleach. Rommel out of the goal, sweeps the puck to Brodie. Joe Colborne tipped it out. Redmond put it ahead to McLeod. He falls down at center. And that allows Derek Engelland to play it in off a leg. Backlund trying to get it. Rolling puck winds up behind the net. Backlund trying to get it out front. Loose at the side of the goal. Varlamov able to hug the post and hang on for a whistle.
Matt Duchesne is dangerous, it seems. Every shift he comes over the boards now. And here's another example right in front. He's going to be in perfect position for the deflection of the Hayda shot. And there's the shot, and Duchesne right in front coming from behind the net. Timing it perfectly. Boy, he is lurking right now in the offensive zone. He's feeling a 24-year-old player, one of the most beautiful skaters in the game.
Brandon Bollig in the corner. Matt Stajan on the boards. Mason Raymond behind the net, bumped by Jan Hayda. Stajan comes in to help, gets the puck. Bollig's out front. Bollig shoots, and it's stopped by Varlamov. Great chance there for the fourth line. Stajan again behind the net. Knocked away by Landeskog. He'll get the puck on the far boards, and Gabriel Landeskog. Long cross-ice pass to Tanguay. Deflected, and the Flames take it away past the 6-minute mark of the third. Brandon Bollig with the best chance for Calgary for a while. Sean Monahan out there as the top line comes off the bench for the Flames. Avs control the puck though. Pass for O'Reilly in his skates. All he can do is chip it out. Brodie back at his own blue line. Over to Weidman. Dennis Weidman carries in. Here's Monahan. Makes a play to Hoodler in his skates. Gaudreau tries to follow up, and it's taken away and cleared out by Barrie. Matt Duchesne. Mitchell with Iginla trailing. Shot by Mitchell. Stopped. Rommel rebound stopped as well. Puck goes towards the corner. Played up the boards. Bounces free to Gaudreau, and he'll try and work it out, but it's taken away by Brad Stewart. Quickly ahead to Iginla. That rush broken up at the line. Just off the bench. David Jones is knocked down. And Nick Holden gets the puck at his own blue line. Here goes Duchesne. Pass deflected off a skate. Derek Engelland gets control. Banks it to the blue line, and the Flames able to kick it to center. Stewart right back in for Colorado with a long shot. Rommel will hang on to that one. With 12:47 to go in the third period. Still 2-1 Calgary. The Flames coming close on a great chance for Brandon Bollig, but Varlamov with another stop.
Shop at Safeway today. You could be our next lucky winner. Watch future Sportsnet telecast, and you could win an all-inclusive trip for 2 to a Grand Bahia Principe resort, courtesy of RedTag.ca, where Canada shops for great travel deals. And immediately following our telecast from Scotiabank Saddledome, we'll head up to Edmonton, Rexall Place. The Oilers and the Winnipeg Jets are playing. After 2 periods, the Jets lead 3-0.
Thank you, Roger. Flames up 2-1 on Colorado here in Calgary with 12:47 left in the third period. LA Kings winning 3-1 in New Jersey earlier tonight. Jets winning. Critical 2 points up for grabs here for Calgary. They need at least 1 to stay ahead of LA in third place in the Western Conference, or pardon me, in the Pacific Division.
Yeah.
And a chance with a 2-point night to move within 2 of Vancouver for second. Here's Monahan down the wing with speed. Shot up high on Varlamov when he fights that one off. May have caught him in the mask as the puck bounces all the way out to center ice.
Sure did, Rick. He's okay. The referee just went over right now and asked him. He's fine.
Chip back in by Juris. Speeds after the puck. Battling Barrie down low. Nate Gennon comes in to help out. Cody McLeod steps into his check. Backlund gets the puck though. Here's Joe Colborne behind the net. Juris out front. Colborne forced to the corner. Turns away from Barrie. Colborne pass out front, misses everybody. Comes all the way back to the line to Schlemko. Schlemko with a wrister. That goes off McLeod into the corner. Colborne after it with Juris. Juris winds up with control. Dropped it off for Colborne in tight quarters. Cleese knocked it away from him. And he gets that ahead to Everberg, who brings it out to center ice. Everberg, the lone man, into the forecheck, and Schlemko hustles back to cut him off. David Schlemko turning. Everberg giving him all sorts of problems as the Avs have been able to make a change. Lance Boma races onto the puck for Calgary. Carries in with Backlund. Boma down the wing on the backhand. Blockered away by Varlamov. All the way back to Brody. One-timer. Scores! Deflected in front. Boma may have gotten a piece of it. And it's 3-1 Flames.
What a smart play by Lance Boma when he enters the Avalanche zone. Takes a backhand shot. You'll see it right here. But what he does, he recognizes the rebound's going to go out to the point. So he goes right to the front of the net. That's a smart play right there, in perfect position for the deflection. Had he went to the back of the net, behind the net, he wouldn't have been in position. That's just a smart play by Lance Boma. You're only going to be dangerous if you're going to be in front of the goaltender. We talked about how difficult it is to score on first shots on Varlamov unless it's a deflected shot, and there's a great example of it.
Brody and Jones get the assist. Boma's 14th of the season. Second goal for that line tonight. Flames lead by 2.
Well, Bob Hartley was looking for secondary scoring.
And he's getting it tonight.
Yeah.
That top line have been doing all the scoring as Boma gets a shot. And that's gloved by Varlamov.
Intact Insurance Company, proud to partner with the Calgary Flames.
Another winner in the score and win, Elizabeth Hertz of Bragg Creek, shopped at Safeway, has won the Hoover Air Cordless Vacuum courtesy of Safeway and Nabob Coffee.
Apparently Lance Boma likes playing against the Avalanche. March 14th, he had a goal and assist versus the Avs. Tonight, same thing. And that puck, there's no question, stick was below the crossbar, so that's why they didn't even look at it. And let's see it one more time, maybe a couple times. There's that play by Brody, no hesitation whatsoever by Brody taking the shot, and you can see Varlamov did not expect Brody to get his stick on that one.
David Jones with a goal and assist for the second straight game against the Avs as well. Here's Monahan fanning on a shot. Weidman at the line, bobbled the puck. Kept it onside though. Sean Monahan to it. Behind the net for Hudler. Hudler trying to work it out front. Passes deflected wide off the stick of Duchesne. Monahan, Hudler with a shot. That goes off the stick through the crease and wide of the goal. Flames keep the pressure on. Matt Duchesne gets the puck. Played it across to Gennon. And he'll feed it ahead to John Mitchell, who speeds down the wing. Working it on Weidman. Mitchell, sharp angle shot. Weidman got a stick in the way, and the puck goes out of play.
John Mitchell slow to get up. He's had a good game for the Avalanche. This is how you go out the next shift after you score. You take it to the opposition again. Don't let them off the mat. It's a really good shift by the Monahan line, buzzing all around in the Avs zone. That's winning hockey right there. Go up 3-1, try and make it 4-1. Don't sit back.
.10:21 to go in the third. Stajan will take the face-off against Joey Hishon. They'll reset. Off the draw, the Avs work it behind the net. Hishon to the circle, feeds it to the side of the goal. Played down low. Caron's knocked down by Schlemko. Battle ensues on the end boards. Matt Stajan gets the puck. Played it ahead for Brandon Bollig. And the Flames chip it out. Stajan able to clear the zone. Raymond can't knock it down at center ice. Sam Colin controls the puck.
Calgary Flames now with that third period goal. 90 third period goals this season. They had 70 last season.
Hishon played it in offside with 9:42 left in the period. Mitchell ailing a bit on the bench. And on the scoreboard where the Flames lead the Avs 3-1.
Jiri Hudler enjoying a career season now with 65 points thanks to that last one he picked up. 17 points in the month of March. He's been absolutely on fire, and as I mentioned earlier, 20 multi-point games this season. What a year for number 24.
All four of those players, Rick, you might have noticed on the Alberta teams.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Oilers playing much better under Todd Nelson, especially Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Jordan Eberle. Those two guys are magical right now.
4-game point streak for the Oilers, but they're trailing tonight to the Jets. O'Reilly feeds the puck up the boards to Landeskog. Cuts across the line. Gets the return pass from Redmond. Landeskog feeds it down low for O'Reilly. Wanted to get it on goal, but he bobbled the puck. Got it back. Shot from a sharp angle. They score! Landeskog able to find a crack between Ramo and the goal. Bounce that in, and it's a 1-goal game.
Good puck movement here by the Avalanche. I just like how Landeskog sort of just going to slide off into the quiet area, well to the right of Ramo right there. Ramo's unsure where the puck's coming from, and he's a little bit slow in getting across. Landeskog, that's pretty good accuracy though from that part of the ice, and just sort of bank it in off the goaltender. Those are such tough plays for the goaltender when you're going from one side to the other, and there's an urgency in your game, so you don't maybe do it with the same sort of technique as you'd normally like.
O'Reilly and Redmond get the helpers. Landeskog's 21st, and Calgary's lead down to 3-2. Goal coming at the 10:46 mark.
Landeskog, O'Reilly, and Redmond, time 10:46.
Dennis Wideman retreating with control. Watched by Cody McLeod. Wideman, nice pass to Monahan. He'll bring it out. Dumps the puck in. Gaudreau after it. Chips it to Monahan on the boards. Took a bump. Stays on the play, though. Josh Juris comes in support. Taken away by Barry. And Cleach with a chance to clear. Got it out to center ice, but the Flames regain control with 8.5 minutes to go in regulation. Gaudreau flipped it in at the end of his shift. Barry settles it down. Feeds it across to Matt Duchene. Giveaway at center. Joe Colborne works it down the wing. Backlund's out front. Colborne tied up in the corner by Redmond. Backlund gets the puck. All the way back to the line. Derek Engelland with a shot. That goes off a stick high and out of play.
Some young players drafted in 2011 having such an impact so early in their careers. Johnny Gaudreau averaging .80 points a game. How about Landeskog? He just scored. Second overall draft choice that year, .68. I think that pretty good draft. A lot of good young players playing. Nugent-Hopkins, of course, on that graphic as well.
Gaudreau, leading rookie scorer this season in the NHL, came into the game 2 points up on Philip Forsberg. Gaudreau has not picked up a point yet tonight. As Redmond off the draw has the puck ahead to Tanguay, who tips it out to center ice. Landeskog, who scored the most recent Colorado goal, chips and chases. Derek Engelland back. Tied up behind the net by Landeskog. O'Reilly comes in to help out. Ryan O'Reilly in the corner. Works it up the boards. Across the blue line now. All the way to the other side. O'Reilly threw it out front. Tanguay got a weak shot away. Never got it on goal. Hayda keeps it onside. Landeskog backhands it deep. O'Reilly plays it down low again. Derek Engelland's there for the Flames. Up the other side. David Jones trying to chip it out. Can't get it past Barrie. Avs regain control. Tanguay. Puck comes back towards the boards. The Flames finally corral it. Lance Boma clears the zone and heads to the bench in the change. Approaching the 13-minute mark of the third. Flames up by 1. Shots are 26-24 Colorado. Barrie coughed up the puck to Bollig at the Calgary line. What an effective night for this line for the Flames.
Very.
Bollig staging a Raymond. Barrie again out of his own zone. Leads the way over the line. Barrie down the boards. Stops on the half wall. Back to the blue line. Fired back towards the corner. Briere behind the net trying to get it out front. That's cut off by Dennis Wideman, who works the puck ahead and makes a play to Brandon Bollig. Up the right side to Mason Raymond at the end of his shift. Stajan stays in on the forecheck, but it's knocked away from him, and Brad Stewart turns it back the other way. Flips it deep. Russell goes to it, and he stops behind his own goal. Russell more than happy to stay there with a 1-goal lead.
You got that right. Even if you kill 15 seconds, that's a lot.
Puck rolls to Varlamov, and with Monahan bearing down, he covers up with 6:08 to go in the third.
Talked about the play of Dennis Wideman in the second in his own zone on that penalty kill. It was a smart read right at the side of the net. Right there, he recognized Briere might be throwing that right through the crease, and he just played it beautifully, and that's why they're able to get the puck and lead the zone. Almost 25 minutes tonight already by Dennis Wideman.
Monahan against Mitchell on the faceoff. Another win for Monahan cleanly. Back to Derek Engelland. On the boards for Gaudreau, knocked away from him, and out come the Avs, led by Jerome Iginla through center ice. Wires it around. Mitchell to it. Took a hit from Engelland, who had fallen, got back in time to step into Mitchell. Puck goes to the other corner. Brody. Bumped by Iginla. Mitchell comes in support. Works it all the way up the boards, back to the blue line. Plays it across. Holden with room. Shot goes off the outside of the net. Back into the corner for Iginla. Knocked down by Engelland. Here's Duchesne behind the goal. Matt Duchesne back the other way. Gaudreau watching him. Forces Duchesne to the corner. Mitchell tied up by Brody. Iginla gets the puck loose. Now Mitchell with Duchesne out front. Here's Iginla again. Jerome Iginla back to the blue line. Gennon tipped the puck to the boards to Mitchell. Mitchell all the way back to the line. Brody steals the puck, and now he'll give chase. TJ Brody trying to get after it, but Holden comes over to take control. Brody steals it back on a good play. Monahan works it down the boards. Monahan got it out front. Juris put it wide. Josh Juris that close to restoring a 2-goal lead. Here's Colborne trying to cut out front. Turns, and that goes off the shoulder of Varlamov. Mitchell battling Juris. Colborne comes in. Some tired Avs on the ice. Colborne with a shot. That bounces free. Controlled by Backlund. Wideman, one-timer blocked. Backlund gets the puck, kept it onside. Barely know they're going to blow it down. It looked like it stayed in. But the linesman says offside Calgary. 4:38 to go. Third period of play. It was close at the blue line, and we'll take a look at it. Avs get a break, but the Flames have the lead, 3-2.
Flames are back at it in 48 hours. They'll play host to the Dallas Stars. Catch the action on Sportsnet 1 and Sportsnet Flames Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Mountain Time.
4:38 to go in the third. Flames up 3-2. Fourth game, 5-game homestand for Calgary. Tyson Barrie with the puck. Long pass broken up by Jones, and that goes off his stick and out of play as we check our crunch of the game. Presentation of Old Dutch Foods. Quality lives here. Sharing starts here. Kelly, hasn't been an overly physical game tonight.
No, but two big boys going at it right here. Derek Engelland and John Mitchell. Two physical players, and that's about the best we could find, Rick.
A lot of skating.
Lots of skating,
hitting.
no? Lots of hitting. Just smaller hits. How about that?
There you go.
Not
Nice
bone
Barrie.
cruncher.
Long pass to Cleach, who backhands it in. TJ Brodie to it. Around the boards, cut off, but it bounces free, and the Flames have time to bring it out. Hoodler trying to spring Gaudreau. He was in behind Barrie. Didn't quite connect, and the puck goes offside. 4:11 to go.
I'm sure we're going to see the Calgary Flames getting pucks deep a lot. We'll see a lot of chip and chase if there are no outnumbered opportunities for them. And for the Avalanche, one thing they've done really well is they've had a lot of possession time in the Flames zone. They've done a really nice job of trying to wear down the Flames in their own zone. So a lot of strategy involved here, still with 4 minutes to go.
Chris Russell gets the puck off the draw and dumps it in. Varlamov leaves that behind the net. Hayda took a hit, but got it up the boards to Tanguay. And he makes a play to Redmond. Broken up by Jones at center ice. Weidman to Granlund. Boma trying to swat it in. Bouncing puck. And now they go offside again. 3:50 to go in the third.
Talked about a bunch of the Flames tonight about the seasons they've had. Maybe none better for maybe not a surprise player, but a guy that is known more for in the past blocking shots and hitting, but surprising offensive output from Lance Bowman. You know what? I don't think this is going to be a career year when we look back on his eventual career. He has the potential to be a natural goal scorer in this game.
Long shot by Backlund, gloved by Varlamov. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has scored for the Oilers, by the way, so the Jets lead down to 3-1. We'll be going to the third period of that game at the conclusion of this one. As Derek Engelland takes the puck away, got it ahead, and Colborne tipped it out. Duchesne drops it off at his own line, and Nick Holden. Matt Duchesne, too far for Iginla. Brodie has to chase it. Iginla on his tail. Brodie makes a nice play to Backlund. Off the boards, tipped high in the air. And now Juris able to get it out. 2-on-1 with Backlund. Josh Juris. Backlund. Pass blocked. Good play by Holden. Here's Backlund again trying to get it out front. Couldn't corral the pass, and it's clear to center ice. Derek Engelland back at his own line. 3 minutes left in the third. Chris Russell has to retreat. Bank pass to Gaudreau. Plays it in. Jan Hayda gets it. Around the boards on the other side for Daniel Briere, who brings it out to center ice. Got it ahead. Big hit thrown on his shot by Dennis Weidman as the Flames get the puck deep. Briere cut it off, though. Briere trying to feed it out front. It goes off Russell behind the net. McLeod played it out front. Rumble cuts off that play and covers up at the side of the post with 2:32 to go in regulation.
Nick Holden makes an excellent play for the Avs on defense on a 2-1. Juris and back on 2-on-1. And Holden waits and then dives down, gets a stick on that play right there to keep it only a 1-goal lead by the Flames. So real good play. He's shown a real good offensive flair tonight too. Holden, I've been impressed with his overall game.
27-year-old, undrafted player, as mentioned earlier, out of St. Albert, Alberta. Face-off win for the Avs. Kick back to the line. Here's Redmond looking for a shooting lane. Passes instead. Turning along the wall is O'Reilly. Hard pass back to Jan Hayda. Shot wide. Bounces off the glass in the back of the net. Avs turning up the heat here, down by 1, approaching the final 2 minutes of play. We know that Patrick was not afraid to pull his goalie early, and Varlamov was creeping towards the bench, but the puck comes back to the Colorado zone, so he retreats into the crease.
I would suspect with about 1:45, Patrick might make the nod.
Avs work it out. Varlamov creeping towards the bench. Now he goes off with 1:55 to go, but the Avalanche go offside at the Calgary blue line. Let's check our game review, brought to you by Intact Insurance Company, proud to partner with the Calgary Flames.
And it's always sweet when you score against one of your former teams. That's what Jones and Tanguay have done. Yuri Hoodler continues his hot scoring streak, and Lance Boma, goal and an assist tonight, same as March 14th.
Varlamov stays on the ice, but stands out near the hash marks in his own zone. With a face-off outside the Calgary blue line. And 1:53 to go in the third. Avs control off the draw. Tyson Barrie trying to work it in and does. Extra attacker on the ice. Iginla with a shot. Rommel with the save. Hoodler corrals the rebound. McLeod got it back. Hoodler took it away around the boards. Barrie trying to stand his ground. Chips the puck to the corner. John Mitchell there. Flames steal. Gaudreau across to Hoodler trying to shoot towards the open net. Blocked by Holden. Here goes Mitchell. Fires the puck into the zone. Weird bounce off that stanchion. Winds up on the back of the net long enough for a whistle. And we've seen the last few games that stanchion at the Zamboni end has been scary. That time it pays off for Calgary with the pucks winding up on the back of the net. It should be outside the zone, I think, here, Kelly, shouldn't it?
It should be, but how about this play right here, Rick, by Holden? That's why the Flames weren't able to get that empty netter. Excellent play, and you're right. That's why the puck is outside. I like the idea that Ramo learned from that those couple games where you can't trust the glass and stay in your net.
Empty net at the other end as the Flames win the draw, but put the puck into their own bench. 1:20 to go. And we'll do it all over again.
And I suspect that we're going to see a lot of Tyson Barrie on this play. I'm sure they're going to try and get him the puck as quickly as possible to make the entry into the Flame zone.
Avs win the draw. Redmond dumps it in. Russell plays it around the boards. Cut off on the far side by O'Reilly. Knocked down in the corner. Flames onto the puck. Barrie on the near side gets to it first. Put it behind the net for O'Reilly. Landeskog in the corner. On the near side for Tanguay. Final minute of play in the third. Barrie back at the line. Long shot, never got it through. Blocked out front. Here's Tanguay on the boards. Barrie wanted to one time, but had to take it off his skate first. Alex Tanguay. Tyson Barrie. Crowd in front. Shot blocked by Boma. Puck goes to Backlund, and he'll clear it. David Jones racing after it for a second. Put it wide. Redmond may have got a stick on that shot. As Redmond gets the puck, 33 seconds to go. Alex Tanguay out of his own end. Feeds it across. Here goes Barrie over the line. Swings wide to the right. Cross-ice pass deflected to the corner. Played behind the net. Taken away by TJ Brodie. Bank pass to the line. Goes off Barrie and down the ice. Jan Hejda to it. Final 15 seconds. Flames up by one. There's a steal. Rolling puck. Hoodler couldn't settle it down. Derek Englund races back. 7 seconds to go. Englund around the boards. Gets it out. And it winds up going out of play with 2.1 seconds left. Face-off outside the zone. And it looks like this one is just a formality as the Flames are seconds away from an important 2 points.
What a shot block by Lance Boma. Barrie at the point, taking his time, and you're going to see the left hand of Lance Boma opens it up, and he gets it right there in the palm of his hand. And it's 17th block shot by the Flames. Here's another one right in front. Backlund on that play, so typical Calgary Flames hockey.
They add an extra second on the clock, 3.1 left. Varlamov's back between the pipes. And the faceoff is outside the blue line. Backlund against Duchesne. And that'll do it. Calgary Flames get an important win as they knock off the Avs 3-2 to remain third in the Pacific Division. 2 points back of Vancouver. They'll wrap up the 5-game homestand against Dallas on Wednesday.
TELUS Flames Hockey. Brought to you by TELUS. The future is friendly.
All right, Kelly, here are the 3 stars tonight.
David Jones, goal and assist. Lance Boma, his 4th game-winning goal of the season, 2nd star. And Gabriel Landeskog, chosen as our 3rd star of the evening.
Avs wind up out shooting Calgary 27-26. Good night tonight for Karri-Ramo.
And I thought, you know what, Rick, you never know exactly how a game may unfold, but this lead in the third just seemed like a safer lead. It just seemed as though the Flames are really under control. Ramo, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, was really, really strong, really confident. Take a look at their schedule down the stretch. Only 3 home games remaining, 6 on the road, including that 5-game road trip starting this Friday in Minnesota, and then the last Saturday of their season in Winnipeg.
All right, Matt Stajan standing by with Roger Millions.
All right, thanks, Rick. And a hard-fought win by a guy that knows how to play in tough games at this time of year. Talk about what the team did, Matt, I guess, in terms of just hanging in there, playing a very patient game. I thought you were extremely patient as a group.
Yeah, you know, I think it was similar to the game we played in Colorado last week. So just kind of reversed. You know, they came at us at the end. We got some big saves from Rams, and we got some timely scoring. You know, I think every game's not going to be pretty where you run up the score. You know, but we got the goals we needed, and we hung on at the end.
It's so difficult, I think, probably to hang in there. You're one of the guys that has been around and seen the playoffs before. A lot of young players. Can you comment on what you've seen from that room? Guys that have been able to pick things up from people like yourself and just build their game as the season rolls on a little farther.
Yeah, we're just trying to play a simple game. I think if you play the right way, and everybody does that, you're not going to give up too many chances. You know, I think we have a great dressing room. Guys rely on one another, and that's the key to our success. You know what the rest of your line's going to do at any given time, and we're able to calm the storm when it does come at us.
Thanks for this, Matt. Congratulations.
Thanks, Roger.
Matt Stage, and a big night for the Flames as they win 3-2. Now let's take in the Winnipeg Jets and the Edmonton Oilers. Let's go now to Rexall Place, and here's Kevin Quinn.